It's time for the news. What up, V gang? What up, B? Now, I think I speak for everyone when I say, let's make this quick so I can get back to playing The Elder Scrolls Blades on my iPhone XS. I'm your host, WiLLo Davis, and you're watching WDNN. Hello and welcome. Our first story. Now, normally I'm not too into the digging stuff up from years ago on somebody and exposing it now to ruin their name, but when it's something like serious and instead of just like apologizing, you kind of just openly bear it as a testament to the struggle that you had to go through to get where you are today, it's just not a good look. Cardi B had a live video of hers resurface after years where she kind of explains that she used to lure men in with the promise of sex and then drug them and rob them. And first of all, the place I found this was Twitter, where they have like the moments and like the trends where they kind of have a brief explanation for what was going on and why this thing is trending. And in that description on Twitter, it says, it's in response to a recently surfaced video that shows rapper Cardi B saying she used to drug and rob men in order to survive. In order to survive, what does that mean? I don't think, was she dying and this was the way to cure it? I don't think so. Anyway, so you hear something off like this, you would expect them to at least apologize for it and definitely not like wear it as some badge of verification for your struggle. But Cardi B's response, let's take a look at that. So I'm seeing on social media that I did a live 3 years ago that has popped back up. A live where I talked about things I had to do in my past, right or wrong. Right or wrong, what do you mean? Definitely wrong. I don't know why you'd say right or wrong, that I felt I needed to do to make a living. I never claimed to be perfect or come from a perfect world with a perfect past. I always speak my truth. I always own my shit. I am a part of a hip-hop culture where you can talk about where you come from, talk about the wrong things you had to do to get where you are. There are rappers that glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing. Crimes they feel they had to do to survive. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's just part of your culture. Oh my god, I'm the insensitive one here. I never glorified the things I brought up in that live. I never even put those things in my music because I'm not proud of it and feel a responsibility not to glorify it. But in the video, she kind of says it as if, like, it's like that's how determined she was to make it. I made the choices that I did at that time because I had very limited options. You definitely had the option to not do that. I was blessed to have been able to rise from that, but so many women have not. Oh, how nice for you. Whether or not they were poor choices at the time, there again, whether or not, it definitely a poor choice. Did what I had to do to survive. You could have survived without it, without drugging and robbing. Crazy to me that she would say she's not gonna like glorify it or defend it in any way, and then goes on to defend it. It's so messed up. So glad you're able to move on from this and get on with your life and put it behind you. How fortunate for you. And how fortunate for you that these people even ended up waking up when you drugged them. Or did they not? Do you know? I bet you don't know. It's not like you stuck around to find out. Maybe you're a murderer. Let's see. Great job. Great. Next. News. Zachary Michael, you know him, was all up on Twitter talking about the people criticizing him for talking about being vegetarian and still occasionally eating fish. Now, obviously, I'm not here to defend any consumption of animal products whatsoever, but I think his issue here is a much bigger problem than just his. It's definitely true that people who show an interest in reducing their use of animal products in any way are held to a much higher standard than the people who don't have any interest at all. And it's understandable, like if if you're someone who follows these rules, then you want people to go all the way with it, not just when they feel like. Now, I'm also not here to debate the definition of a vegetarian. He goes on to cite the Wikipedia article for it, saying that some people could call it pescatarian, others use vegetarian as the word for someone who doesn't eat meat but sometimes consumes fish or whatever. And there's so many levels of that. Some vegetarians still eat eggs or whatever, and there's so many different things that it's not even worth trying to come up with like specific rules for what vegetarian is, because it's so different to so many people. Now, obviously, I would love to see Zach go fully vegan. I would love to see anyone do it, but I don't think anyone has ever been convinced to do so by being criticized for their choices, to keep it as simple as that. I try to never tell people what they should do, or at least I don't try not to just tell them that they should be vegan unless they're really expressing interest in it. And I don't know let me put it this way. I acknowledge that I don't think anyone has gone vegan by being shamed into doing so, or just like kind of feeling obligated to do so because of pressure. And so I try to at least kind of be a spokesperson for it. Like, I don't go out telling people they should, but instead I just try to live my best vegan life and lead by example. So let me put it this way. I don't know if anything that I've done or just me being around has had any impact on Zach's decision to go vegetarian, but I think what would be a safe bet would be to say that me not trying to force it on him or make him feel bad for it could very likely have not ruined the chances, you know what I mean? And again, I would love to see anybody go fully vegan, but the fact that a Midwestern boy with probably very few vegetarian or vegan connections in his life has decided to make the jump as far as he has, how could I complain, am I right? Now, on a more humorous note, take a look at this tweet from SpongeBob. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for... SpongeBob, how could you do this? Literally shaking and crying right now. SMH. I can't. I literally cannot. Anyway, next news. Let's move this right along. Google has announced their gaming thing, finally. Google Stadia is going to be what kind of was expected. The online gaming platform. Basically, as I've said previously, I believe in a WDNN before it was verified, you're gonna get a controller, their Google controller, which, not loving it. Maybe if you're a PlayStation player, it's a little more understandable to you. I'm like, meh about it. But, so basically, you're gonna get that. That's going to apparently hook up to the Wi-Fi or, network or something, I think. and you're going to stream your game. I think it's going to be available through YouTube even. And so basically you got the controller that's hooked up to the internet. Your commands get sent off to a Google Stadia server where they have the game, all of the processing, all of the graphics being generated, and then that, which would go to a display normally, gets sent back to, I guess, you via YouTube, where you are streaming your screen on, like, say, your phone or the TV or your laptop or something. So basically, you don't need the latest and greatest overpowered CPU and graphics card to play the game, because it's all being done remotely with servers somewhere else. Likely it'll be a monthly fee. Who knows how much? That could determine how likely people are to pick this up. I am skeptical about this, obviously, which is kind of a good thing with stuff like this, because the gaming industry feels so fragile. It feels like things could really get messed up pretty quick if just left to their own devices. This definitely has benefit, on your lunch break at work. You could literally prop up your phone somewhere and play a game real quick, which you obviously can't go hauling an Xbox around or something. So that's cool. One of my skepticisms is that, like, since it's kind of going to be a lot like Netflix or something, like, they're going to not get the rights to be able to play some of the latest games, maybe. Or, like, you'll be playing a game and then their contract for the rights to be able to use it will run out and you won't be able to play it anymore because you don't own it physically. And it's just a lot, But we'll see how it works out. I don't see it, like, replacing consoles, obviously, at any point soon. But maybe it can be a cool addition to it. And not entirely related, as I said earlier, I just downloaded The Elder Scrolls Blades. It's in its early access thing, so they've been rolling it out to the people who signed up. I literally signed up like minutes after the thing went up 8 months ago or whenever that was at this point, so who knows, maybe everyone got it by now. Although I have seen, like, some screenshots of people who, like, opened it up and it said, like, please wait for these to roll out or something. So, like, it wasn't the actual game yet. I don't know. I opened it up for a second, walked around a little bit, like, probably, like, pre-tutorial. Here's a little clip of that if you're interested. And so that just about does it for WDNN. I'll leave you with this. Rafe. Nickname? Let me know. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe. Smash like if you enjoyed this video, or if you like WDNN at all, let me know. Links down below for some of my social media, Twitch. There's links to merch down there. You can go to Amazon or Spreadshirt, check it out. You know what, while you're down there, take a look for a link to get 60% off your first box of Sunbasket using the link. My link, a little something for me. Anyway, I'll see you next time. This has been WDNN, and I'm WiLLo Davis, signing off.